All right. Well, hello everyone. We return to Teddy's Haven. Boost. Got a boost. One more click, baby. Nope, one more after that. Yeah, that's a boost. All right. So we have Mr. Orling over here. Oh, hey. That's right. Ruben's here. I think was his name. I do seem to recall us doing a little bit last time on the day. Just kind of like daily beginning, looking at stuff, that sort of stuff. Ooh. And look, the Wand of Boxing is available now. The Bin of Devastation. So this is something in the newest update. And it is essentially a pit of devastation that you can place anywhere. So that will help a lot. I think I'm going to carry that over here. Let's see. All right. We need to go look at the goblins because they probably need something for their fountain. And if they do, we probably want to go about trying to get that. It's the Black Dragon. Hi there, buddy. Was it print screen? F12? F12. For screenshots. Rubius. Walk brought tea leaves to a volcano summit. Said it would soothe the tension. Nearly roasted him on the spot, but then I drank it. Damn good tea. Still tending fire, are you? Good. Fire matters. They remind me of Caith. City built on flame, carved into the cliffside, where lava ran through channels like veins. We forged blades in the open air, not fearing the heat. I circled once, just to see if they'd flinch. They bowed instead. Their courage was beautiful. Thank you. Not many still honor the strong without fear. Yay! Increased mining. As marked our shop with his silent approval. But yeah, so the dragons apparently all now have both a intro and outro animation. You know, because he's flying off. Like, they don't just appear and then, like, stick around. They now leave eventually, which is cool. And now, let's find out if these guys need anything. Can already hear the gentle splash of water in our sleepy heads. If the fountain truly shine, it must have a touch of magic, kind only the rarest treasures can provide. Bring us 20 blue sky shards, so the water will sparkle as if it were kissed by the stars themselves. Thank you. We'll make progress by tomorrow morning. Cool. So they needed blue sky shards. We gave it to them. Here's this floating bit of land that's just kind of going by. Did I not mount? I thought I mounted. I thought I was mounted. But clearly that is not the case. So one neat thing is apparently farming will be coming to the game soon. By soon, I mean like the next update that is currently planned is farming. Or will add farming, rather. So that's cool. They kind of announced it in the change log for this latest update. But they did say that it will likely take a little while longer before that comes out. So next update might take a little longer than usual. Because usually they release them pretty steadily, once a week it seems. And so the next update is apparently going to take a little while. But it'll have the farming in it. So, which is neat. Let's see here. So, that's that. There's supposed to be something new with the cats. But I don't know how to make it do. So, oh well. You're supposed to be able to make the animals follow you around now. But I don't know how to do that. Those seem to be the only buttons that I can find that do anything, so... Let's go ahead and put some Levendrite into our crystals. Ooh. These have new animations. And they like change color and stuff. They didn't do that before. Cool. Still can't rotate them in any meaningful way. That said, one thing that you can do now is scale things up and down. I don't know, like, by how much they can be, like, scaled. Where'd that scale, that rotating, like, well, to the right goes more than to the left. But yeah, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, so yeah, you can do you can scale stuff now, and I think that's really cool. I don't know if like everything is scalable or if it's only certain stuff. But that is really cool that you can scale stuff now. Oh. Alright. Interesting. Let's see. That's my Earth Wisp. Oh, yeah. Here's my rock. Totally missed that, apparently. I gather very quickly right now, though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's supposed to be a few other changes that they've made recently. Something about new like weapon displays. And other things. The main big one, in my opinion, was that pit of devastation because that finally allows me to like go ahead and, you know, like you can pull up the inventory and like get rid of crates without like having to run the crate all the way back to your shop. And that's really nice. I am curious what the farming is going to be like. That sounds like it's going to be very interesting. I wonder if they'll like replace the orchard with like the farmland. Or, you know, whatnot. I don't know what their plans for it are. I haven't a clue, so... Oh my gosh, my phone and spam calls. Freaking nothing but spam calls. Like, it really makes me want to just, like, throw my phone away. Because I don't use it for much of anything, really. All I do is get spam calls on it nowadays. I mean, I barely used it to begin with, to be clear. But like, I don't really use my phone for much of anything. But now, instead of just having my phone and it just being there and me not using it for anything, now I still don't use it for anything, but I get freaking spammed. Spammed and spammed, you know? Whee! Stop by Danny and Arnold over here. It's actually really funny. The last 10-minute power hour that the Grumps did, they Aaron was wearing a shirt that said that had like a name tag on it, and that name tag was Arnold. It's funny. It's one of the running gags, you know, Danny and Arnold. Instead of Dan and Aaron, it's Danny and Arnold. It's usually part of their like Obama bit that they do. Obama is a Game Grumps fan bit. The idea is like he's a big fan, but he gets like everything wrong. Danny and Arnold love those guys. It's really funny. And so Aaron was wearing a shirt that had Arnold as a name tag on it, and I thought that was really funny. They were doing something with ice cream in the last 10-minute power hour. I don't exactly remember what. I think it was just tasting like different types of ice cream. Which is generally what they do on like the 10-minute power hour. Is it's like, yeah, we're checking out different, you know, thing, like different versions of this thing. You know, whatever this thing is, of course. Oh, you know what? I have an RPG Maker open. So, even though I updated the game, it might be an older update as opposed to the one that just came out. So, that might be why I don't seem to be able to interact with the pets the way that you're supposed to. Well, no, because the pit of devastation is supposed to have been in the same update. I got that. Huh. I don't know, maybe there's a button that does it and I don't know what button it is. But you're supposed to be able to like select one of the cats and have them like follow you around now. But I don't know what the button is to do that. The very fact that I try to hit up like everything every day, like, it's a little insane. Like, I try to mine, I try to forage, you know. I try to like collect up just about everything each time. Yeah, it's not raining, so this guy's not here today. Big Turtle Dude is always here. So it's always good to come check him out. Another update that they're working on is what they call the Underdark, or their version of the Underdark. I think I mentioned that in the last stream that he had like announced that they were doing like an underground update. In the kingdom of Nerathiel, the skies wept stars and the thrones rusted from waiting. A young prince carried a fire passed from dying hands, chased down by shadows older than names. But in the northern ice he met a girl made of silence. She taught him how to stand still and how to leave. He did both. And when the storm passed, her song still echoed in the cracks. Thank you. Sometimes stillness saves us more than flame. I always love the little stories. I just wonder how much work those take to come up with. You know? Not only to come up with the story, but have it be like, and now thank you for doing the thing that is the moral of the story, you know? I suppose it's probably the moral comes first. Like, thinking on it, if I were to do that, if I were to write something like that, I would probably start with a moral and be like, okay, this is the moral, so what would the story be? So it might be more of a, like, you know, figuring out the thing that he's going to thank you for and then creating a story about it. That would make a lot of sense and probably be a lot easier to come up with stuff. So, especially now that I've thought of that. Okay. Sorlan. Goodness. Okay. I got smacked by the tail. Harvesting level up. .44 speed. Times 4 amount. So that's good. I always come up here. Nope. Petting the cats does not count as tending. You do not get tending experience from the cats. I will say, if I wasn't so incessant about, like, hitting everything up, like, we'd probably be able to, like, go get through a few more days. And, like, earn a bit more money and stuff. My problem is, like, I don't know, this is the fun part of the game to me. I like just running around and just collecting all the stuff. Like, it's not the only fun part, but, like, this is this is my favorite part of the game. Just running around. Like, if I wasn't streaming this, I wouldn't feel, like, as bad about, you know, trying to hit up everything every day. So, I don't know, I just enjoyed this part. Like, this is kind of why I have been playing this more. Like, but why this kind of ended up replacing Supermarket. You know? Ever since I started playing it. Like, I haven't gone back to Supermarket. Because I've just enjoyed this more. I would like to go back to Supermarket at some point, and I think if I did, I would consider starting anew, so that we can kind of, like, so that we can, like, you know, see everything as it's meant to be from start to finish. But, I don't know. I enjoyed Supermarket. I've been enjoying this, to be clear. I don't know. There's just something about the state of Supermarket Simulator that puts me off, you know? Like, it was in early access, and so it's like, okay, you know, it's early access, so not everything's done. And they kept talking about, you know, new updates and new releases and new things they were working on. And then just like one day they were like, alright, we're just gonna release this, we're just gonna call the game done. And like half of the stuff that they had said that they were working on didn't even get added. And so there's something about like the game being in a very clearly like unfinished state. That I just, I don't know. It's kind of put me off to it. Meanwhile, this game is in early access. And there's been no motion to say, like, hey, the game's done. In fact, the developer is regularly talking about, you know, how they still have more that they want to do. And how they want to make the game more fun and add new content and It kind of feels like Yandere Simulator. Like the position that Supermarket is in, you know? Like, it kind of feels like if Yandere Sim had released the 1980s mode and then been like, okay, game's done. Like, even though the game is not done, has not been done, and there's still, like, so much. And, like, there's, you know, I mean, he's been working on it for freaking 9 years. But, like, he still works on it, to my knowledge. I don't know. That's just like the best kind of example I can think of. And even then, I'm not sure that that's actually like an example of what, like Supermarket. Like how I feel on Supermarket. That's just what came to my head. Because, like, the more I'm thinking about, you know, that statement, it's like, well, it's not an example. It's just it's hypothetical. It's not, it didn't happen. You know? So, like, it's not really an example. More like a hypothetical. Like, well, what if, you know, he just, you know, claimed it was done in its current state, kind of thing. Also, the blue fairy here had a different name. It was still Hey Listen, but there was an apostrophe in there. I don't think that was there last time. Oh, there's the island. The floating, like, landmass. Just heading off into the endless nothing. That said, I've been having to do some thinking and deciding myself lately about the game that I'm working on. I made a map, sort of what the, like, world looks like. Well, of what the island looks like, I should say. That the game takes place on. And I'm really happy with it. But I started implementing, like, I started redesigning the world around that. And, like, changing sections that I had built to, like, accommodate that new, the map. And I was really happy with it at first. And the more I've done it, the more I'm like, I don't like this. It needs to be like twice the size. And so I've been thinking about that lately. Whether or not to make the starting area, Samara, like bigger. Because Samara is like a little island that's connected to the bigger island that is the Spirit Isle. And I made Samara, the small island, And after like putting about half of the original city or town or whatever into that, I kind of was like, I don't think it's big enough. You know? Like, I think I need to make Samara bigger. But I'm already kind of like struggling with like setting Samara up the way that the map is set up to begin with, like at its current size. So I'm like, how would I ever make it even bigger? You know? How would I go about making it bigger? I just don't know. Let's see. It looks like I need... yeah, I was gonna say, since it's not being... Because I have the Earth Wisp, right? So everything should be like being... Should have been stocked by it. So the fact that my quivers here aren't stocked, probably... Like, I don't think I have those quivers. Ooh! Stone Cleaver. That wasn't here before. This axe, Stone Cleaver. That wasn't there before. Brute Hook? Iron Cleaver? Ooh. We have some new stuff. I think I want to sell Brute Hook. I think I want to sell Brute Hook. I'm just thinking. Oh. Here we go. Here's some of the other things that were added. You can now get headstones. That's cool. In case you want to have something to place down for your own like remembrance of like somebody, you know? I mean, Teddy's Haven is in remembrance of, like, the game as a whole, right, is in remembrance of the dev's Pomeranian, Teddy. So now you can put stuff in the... You can put your own, like, in remembrance of, you know, for your own things, people, pets, etc. that you want to remember. And I think that's really cool. I also dislike everything that I've just now done. Like, I did not like the placement of any of that, honestly. That's so weird. The right rotation is just more than the left rotation. That's probably a bug. I don't think that's the intended functionality. Let me hop off my mount here. Now you want to sell some brute hook. Cool. I assume it's only 4. Yeah. Yep, it's only 4. $13.7. $6.40. Exactly $11. $7.80. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot, if any, market like fluctuation. So, like, it doesn't really seem like there's any real fluctuation in like the market prices. So, maybe that'll come later. Maybe not, you know. Maybe it's not something that he's planning, but still, you never know. Go ahead and toss both of those in there. Buddy's paycheck and Earthwisp's paycheck. Also, there is now a pay off all bills button, so that's cool. I don't know, do I need another stalker? I feel like I'm not really like selling much, you know? I don't know that I feel like I'm really selling enough. So, decorative instrument. Ooh. Level 29. Festive lights at level 14. Well, I think I'm alright at the moment. You know, we've got $1,000. And I think I'm alright with that at the moment. I mean, there's a million more things I could consider selling. Like, I have so much extra stuff that, like, just even in here that I could, like, be selling that I'm not. Like, I'm not selling the carrots or the bulbs or the potatoes. So I'm actually going to go ahead and buy a couple of these. Let's just drop, it's not throw. Oh, there's the side that has the thing on it. Then maybe I can start selling cloth. You know, maybe that's something I might want to consider adding. It's the ability to sell, you know, sell whatever I make from the wool. Because I definitely have wool that I'm not doing anything with. Here, let me move these over. Then I can move these over. I also have milk and like eggs and stuff like that that I'm not doing anything with. So there's that too. Scales. Freaking refined ores. Lots and lots of berries that I'm not doing anything with. The red weaving. It's a new skill that I have unlocked just now. I don't think that was in our book before, thread weaving. No, it wasn't. Because I didn't have to scroll before. That's interesting. It does mean that there's probably still a skill then for what is it? One of the other things that we could have picked up that I don't have yet. I don't remember what it was. The bin of devastation. Ooh, I can make it bigger or smaller. It is time for him to march. Although I think it's the stalking speed. that determines like how fast you can like give him stuff. And that's like working now. Apparently it wasn't before. Because if you remember, like, it was a lot slower. Restocking. Level up. I'll probably move him over to the house. Whoa, that went really fast. Goodness. Okay. Just all of a sudden, it's like going super fast. Like, dang. I just shove entire crates into his mouth in like seconds. But yeah, excuse me, I don't think it was, that like the stocking speed didn't work. I think that it was like, as the Orling gets bigger, he's supposed to like take stone faster, and that wasn't working. Goodness. He do be taking it like ridiculously fast. So, look at that. Like, it's almost faster than freaking... Like, I can just give him, you know? It's almost faster than the game can, like, keep up with the pop-up boxes on the bottom there. Good way to level tending and restocking, I guess. Good lord. Yeah, this is so much faster than it used to be. I mean, I'm glad that I have the bin of devastation for this now. Jeez Louise. He just gobbles up the stone like nobody's business. Yowzer. He's also gotten quite big. Like, he's gotten really big. He's almost as big as my house. Can we make an Orling that's as big as the Titans were? Or are? What? Keep hopping up here and then staring at me. What? Hi, yes. Yeah, I do see you there. He's so big now. Open the door and freaking Orling arm. Good grief, dude. Well, let's hit that candle of time and start the day. Start getting them adventures through the portal. Now let's see if I remember how to play the actual shop part of the game. What you buying? Just a sword? 1372. Ooh, 2 axes. Oh. Speaking of axes, I think I'm gonna buy a couple extra crates. That way the Earth Wisp can keep those stocked up. I will say, I do love the art style of the game. Like, I love the design of, like, the NPC. Ugh! I love the, like, art style and, like, design of the NPCs and stuff. It's cool. Oh, exact change. What the frick? Alright. Mini giraffe. Giraffes? Plural, I suppose. Alright. There are giraffe. Shopping at my store. Level 14 bagging. Very good. A lot of humans come through here, though. They don't appear to be like elves or dwarves. It's all humans. But I mean, I guess that's fine if I'm also getting, you know, giraffes and goats coming to my shop. You know? Whoops. 1855. $9.50. Thanks, cat. How did you even do that? My cat made the keyboard do something I've never seen it do before. Because she jumped down and landed on the keyboard. Two swords. Still can't make my four swords joke. Oh my goodness, I need both types of quivers. Didn't even realize I was selling both types of quivers. $18.73. I can type, really. Purchase. 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 Just a bow. 2082. $7.14. $10.61. $16.32. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to like how much money is like coming in. You know, like this was $39.90. This was $58.64. And thus I attempted to give them $58.64 back. Wow. X. 1503 gave me $39. $30.89. I think also the general idea here is that they're like giving you their money pouch that has just like all of their money in it. And then they're being like, alright, you figure it out, you know? Hey, that person bought 3 swords. It's no 4 swords, but it's 3 swords. Oop. You had exactly enough. Might want to get some, might want to do a bit more adventure in there. So you can have enough to buy other stuff. Coolies. Alrighty. Well, how did the day go? Pretty well. Doesn't look like I ran out of anything. Haven't run out of anything in stock. I've ran low on stock. But I didn't run out of anything. Which kind of sword did I just buy? These ones. So I need the other ones. I need these ones. Well, I guess technically they didn't buy 3 swords. They bought 2 swords and a dagger, but still. It could have been 3 swords. It's basically 3 swords when you think about it. What? I heard that. I heard it, but I didn't see it. Something went crash. That was a meteor of some kind. And if I look around, that should mean... Yeah! Star shards! Cool. I was gonna say I heard it if I didn't see it. Yep, star shards. Also, it's glowing even though the star shards are gone. That's funny. Could probably sell some star shards. I would just want to be a little careful because I don't have a lot. So it's going to be difficult to like keep, you know, enough in stock, basically. Day 15. Orling arm. Open the freaking door and there's a gigantic Orling arm. The cooldown between clicks on Teddy is like real. Like it's so long in between. Like, and yeah, I can do this. Teddy is like click once, wait like 10 seconds. Three seconds. It was 3 seconds. I pulled out my watch. Well, not pulled out my watch because I have my watch. But like, I looked down at my watch. Oh. Cool. Has she been following me and I've just not noticed? I don't remember her following me before. Let's do a little bit of bloodberry on one side. And a little bit of azureberry on the other side. Let's go check the gnomes and see what they need before I, you know, start shoving ore and crystals and stuff. Because if they need something specific, I'd rather have the ability to, you know, deposit it. So I'm not seeing anyone special today. Pop. And it teleports. Including mid-air, apparently. That's really funny, actually. I wonder if we'll ever get any lore on the statue here. Oh, there you go. Well, that answers that question. The gnomes have the goblins have completed their fountain. So they don't need anything for it. Very cool. So I was just kind of lucky enough to have all the materials for everything then, which is really cool. I just kind of happened to have what was necessary for the entire construction. Alright, well, in that case, we'll head on back. And throw some of this ore into the little furnaces. That we have. Hey, here's the other thing, like, I could probably just gather stuff and make plenty of money that way. Since, you know, I'm not, actually, like, since I wouldn't actually be, like, buying anything. Like, I could sell ore and like, you know, metal bars and crystals and, you know, stuff like that. I wouldn't even like need to I wouldn't even need to like buy stuff for the shop. Ooh. It glows the color of whatever you put in it. That's cool. I didn't realize that. So I did do the thread weaving. Ooh, Lavendrite spears is what Lavendrite makes. And then the Ludicite goes into the Lunarith. The Out of Boundium went into like Chronoflux or something like that. Spun Whisperwool. Cool. Very cool, very cool. I shouldn't have pulled it out. Because you can't, there is no bag of endless storage to, you know, then put stuff back in. You know? Oh yeah, Chromaflux right here. Let's see. Do I have... I do not appear to have refined sangrelite. Do you have Pebble Bright and Star Pebble? We have the Silverite. We don't seem to have any kind of refined Sun Glow either. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right now, I just want to collect the things. I'll think about like actually selling stuff once I have some, you know? I don't know, I just like the idea of, you know, trying to kind of see all the content, you know? What do all of the ores go into? What do all the crystals go into, you know? Big guy isn't over here. Big golem guy, he's not here. Freaking Alexander isn't here. So I think it might honestly just be the turtle today. I might only be able to get the turtles bonus today, which is totally fine. You know, just want to maximize my profits so that I can buy cool, new cool stuff to sell. But really though, like, if I'm not gonna sell all of this ore and stuff, I probably should consider not mining all of it. It takes an hour to do all of this stuff. And I'm not even kidding, by the way. Like, I looked over at the stream when I started the day, when I hit the candle of time, and we'd already been going for a full hour. Not just stream time, but VOD time. We're at an hour and a half right now. The day itself passed in like 10 minutes. Everything else took like an hour. Oh, these guys also give wool. Interesting. Whisper wool. That said, if I do decide to start selling the ore, I think something I'm going to want to consider is getting lots of furnaces. Because like right now I've only just got the 2 furnaces and the 2, like everything, you know, everything's only got 2. But if I really wanted to like step up the production and actually consider like selling something, I think I would actually need to consider going and getting more of the furnaces. Probably gonna want like 6 to 8 of the furnaces to get through the day. And that's for like 1 ore, I would say. So, like, if I really want to consider that, you know, I might want to consider stepping things up a bit. Which is also partially why I haven't been thinking about selling any of that. Because I'm more than likely going to sell 1 full display of, you know, whatever I sell, you know, whatever it is I'm selling, whether it's ore, metal, you know, ingot, whatever. You know, crystal. So like, I would want to be able to refine an entire display's worth per day, if not more so. Ah yes, 2 moons once circled Ursa's breath, but only one watched while awake. The other slumbered, hiding a people made of crystal and thought. When war burned the skies, a fallen knight named Kadros turned his blade inward and found a wolf sleeping where his heart should be. He rose not as a knight, but a protector of both earth and sky. Thank you for remembering that peace sometimes howls. Like that, you know? Like, keep going back to the, like, you know, making a moral and then like creating a story, you know? It's like the moral is peace sometimes howls, you know? So it's like, what kind of story comes from that? Maybe that's something I should consider doing for like my own writing. Like, getting some kind of, like, mini, you know, like a challenge thing. Like, hey, here's a thing, you know, create a story based off of this, you know, 4-word phrase kind of thing. Because, like, I really miss the days when I used to write, like, all day. But it's so difficult for me to get the motivation due to the depression being as bad as it is. I have so many, like, creatures all over the place that I really also have to consider. Like, you know, I keep coming up here to the Soralisks and, like, gathering from them, but I don't know. I'm not doing anything with the skills they give me. You know? Like, should I be? There's so much to sell in this game. Like, that's the thing. That's what I'm finding, is that there's so much to sell. Even, like, from, you know, from go, you know, from the beginning. You know, you could, you know, if you really wanted to, sell all of the stone that you're getting. And you're getting, like, thousands of stone a day, you know? You could sell just the berries. You know, you don't have to turn them into jam. You could just be selling the berries. You know, I'm getting elder milk. Got, you know, 1,000 elder milk. I could be selling just straight up milk. Like, there's so many things that I could be selling that I'm not. Unlike Supermarket Simulator, where, you know, you sell what you have a license for, and that's that. There's nothing else. And the other thing that I can say about Supermarket Sim is, like, once you buy the stuff, well, once you have the license, like, you're required to always sell that stuff. Otherwise, your customers get upset, like, I can't find such and such. And, like, yeah, it's nice to, you know, have the customers be like, hey, I can't find this product that you have. But at the same time, like, it's kind of rough, you know? Because then they get, the way it's set up is that still counts as, like, a customer being unhappy. And then that affects, like, your stats. And, like, the amount of customers that you then get. And so it's kind of nice, you know, in this cozy fantasy shop simulator where I can just be like, you know, maybe I don't want to sell crappy old swords. And instead I want to sell the new awesome high-end sword, you know? Like, maybe, you know, I didn't realize that I didn't have the money to buy the ice cream after getting the license. You know? So, like, hey, maybe I just don't sell the ice cream today. But you can't do that in Supermarket. This is a far more chill experience, I will say. Whoops. It doesn't seem like there's any special stuff today. There's no, like, special events or characters. Which is perfectly fine, don't get me wrong. It's just always a little sad, you know? Because there's so many. You know, there's so many, like, special events and special, like, characters. That it's like, wow, did they just all roll 0, you know? But I also wonder if there isn't more to it than that. Like, Quark, Rubius, and, well, any other dragons if there are any. They might be on, like, a single roll table, you know? And it's like, okay, today we roll on the dragon table. And it's like, no dragon. Then you don't get, like, Rubius and Quark showing up at the same time. Since their whole gimmick is like, hey, we don't show up at the same time. You know? And so then, like, maybe the robot is on, like, another another encounter table that's mixed with some of the other characters. And so in reality, you're only rolling on, like, 4 separate tables. And so it's really only like 4 chances of a 0. That said, technically this is 1. This is technically a special event. So I mean, there you go. Bear family. Whoa. They are technically on. They are. This is technically considered a special event, so. Music changed when I came over here. I didn't realize there was unique music per area. I just thought like all the music looped. Like there was just like a playlist of music. Well, it looks like this island has its own like music pool, at least. I don't know if it's like there's multiple tracks or if there's only like just the one track. I haven't really been paying a lot of attention because the music in this game is nice and soft and serene, you know? It's not in your face. It's not like hard rock, you know? It's not pumped up music. It's soft, serene music for a soft, serene game, you know? I like that, because it fits. But also, because it's just soft, kind of serene music, I don't really pay much attention to it. Because it's good, it's nice. You know, it's fitting. And really, that's kind of what you want in video game music. You know? You want the music to fit. And while that sometimes does mean that you want freaking, you know, butt rock, slamming your head, you know, kind of music, because like that's what's going on in the game, sometimes you just want a soft track because you're just wandering around living peacefully, you know? What you don't want is like slamming your head butt rock music when you're trying to live a peaceful, you know, a nice peaceful, soft, you know, life and whatnot. Equally, you don't want a big, like, climatic battle. And this is one that I've seen a lot of video games do, and it really annoys me. You don't want a big climactic battle against, like, gods that is soft and sweet and gentle music. Here's looking at you, Ramu, from Final Fantasy XIV. The original Ramu, I should say. Ramu Redux on the first is really good. Because they realized, like, hey, you know what didn't work last time? That, like, soft, gentle theme. What if we take that, like, you know, theme and we freaking slam your head into the ground butt rocket. And it's really good, you know? Oh yeah, I've already gone by here. I just didn't get up here. Meanwhile, I think one of my favorite themes, you know, boss themes, primal themes, whatever you want to call it, trials, you know, the big boss fight type themes, is freaking Titan. Like, that freaking, like, that is freaking butt rock slamming your head, you know, like that is, that one's heavy, you know, but it's good, and it fits, you know, when you're fighting the guy that's big and heavy and will smash your face into the ground. Yeah. It makes sense to have smash your head music going, you know? Meanwhile, one of the ones that I really dislike is what I like to call lullaby, sleepy time music. Apparently, and I say this because I don't know, but apparently this particular track that I'm talking about is supposed to be emotional, sentimental, you know, really strong emotion type music. And if so, like, cool, but they play it at a time that is not sentimental, that is not emotional, that has not earned any kind of any reason for me to feel any kind of sorrowful emotion, you know? Nah, like, I'm in the middle of a freaking gigantic fight to, like, save the world. Like, this theme should be epic. And it's funny because the battle starts out with a fairly, like, epic sounding, you know, final boss type track. And then you go into phase 2 and it's like soft, gentle, beautiful, supposedly emotional. Again, I don't get emotional off of it. It's super soft. It's super slow. It's pretty. You know, it's a good track on its own. Like, the music is, the song is good. It's just not placed in a good position. Apparently it's the theme from one of the characters, I want to assume, from the game. Somebody named Kane. I don't know who that is. But apparently the one particular track I'm talking about is Kane's theme. Again, I don't know who Kane is. It's Kaine. I don't know who Kane is. I'm sure that in the original game, you know, because the particular battle was in a collab. And I'm sure that in the original game, the track is really good. And, like, super sentimental and things like that. But in Final Fantasy XIV, it's stuck on a freaking... on the final boss of one of the Alliance raids. I'm just like, what? Like, why is this, like, soft, sentimental, well, I don't think it's sentimental, but that's what everybody tells me, is that it's meant to be, like, a soft, sentimental, like, theme. And I'm just like, okay. If you say so. Like I said, I call it sleepy time music. I don't know, that's what it sounds like to me. It just sounds like it's some kind of a lullaby or something that's playing. But then, like, people who have played the game that it came from are always like, yo! This song always makes me cry. I'm like, cool. I wish that something in the story was making me feel that way. You know? Because cool, like, it... Clearly that's the emotion that's wanted. You know? But nothing in the story has made me feel like that. I mean, the boss that we're fighting wasn't even introduced in the freaking story. The first time the boss appears is the fight before the final fight. And, like, her name isn't even, like, a name. It's just, like, a description of a character. And it's funny because, like, I always say that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's the character that the devs forgot to name. That's how I always say it. And people are like, that's just her name. I'm like, but it's not, though. I haven't even played the game and I know this. Because I was extremely confused when I did the raid. And I looked up information on the characters. And she has a name. That is not her, you know, the descriptor name isn't even her name. Like, it is. It's the name that they give her through, you know, the like first sections of the game. But like, that's not her name. Like, she has an actual name. Holy frick ball. This Orling. You open the door, there's just an Orling arm covering the entire door now. He's gonna get big enough that this arm is gonna be above the door eventually. I bet. And honestly, I'm tempted to move him somewhere else and then just get myself a second pit or a second bin. I don't think I had it that big earlier. I'm tempted just to get a second bin so that I can like put this guy somewhere. I mean, if he's gonna be freaking massive, like if he's gonna truly be freaking massive like this, I got concerned because I was like, wait, did I just like box him up and now I can't find the box? But then I did. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take him up here, because you know we can always access everything, you know, from just our inventory there, right? So I'm gonna take him over here. Whoa, he got tiny. Boxing Orling will reset their size. Oh, whoopsies. I did not see that. Oopsies. I might have missed that aspect. Which also means that it's going to be slower to give him stuff, but that's fine. See, it's back to just this speed now. But you can already see that it's speeding up as he grows. So, it'll be fine. But yeah, I might put another pit, another bin up here. There we go. He's speeding up now. And then I'll just have like an Orling overlooking my shop from up here. You know, once he's freaking massive, of course. If I had realized that boxing him was going to reset his size, I wouldn't have hit the box button. So, that was a goof on my part. But hey, it means that we get to make him big again. You know? And once he gets massive in size again, And he's consuming stone, you know, at crates a second. Again. It'll be fun. Ooh, I got some star shards. Oh, let's speed it up again. Now it's doing a full line per second. And of course it'll get faster as, you know, he gets bigger. But yeah, I might put a bin up here, that way I'm not just throwing crates off the side like I currently am. I mean, they do despawn at the end of the day. So it's not like a big deal, technically speaking, but still. We'll do 8 more crates, and then we'll go do more stuff. Oh yeah, this is way slower now. That's really cool though. I mean, you gotta realize, like, when he was as big as he was, I gave him like 50 crates worth of stuff. And, you know, just a few seconds. So, like, it's gonna take a bit to get him that size again. Like, it's gonna take quite a bit to get him that size again. But at least it's not so bad, since he does speed up as we give him, you know, stone. So if I had made the goof at like the beginning of the day, I might have considered resetting the day so as not to lose it. But since we did all of our freaking gathering and stuff today, I'd rather, you know, not lose that. Oop! It sped up. Look at that. That's so fast. I mean, it's not that fast, you know, compared to what we were doing, but, like, it's so much faster than it was just moments ago. I think you can just kind of sit up here, you know? And I'll buy a bin of devastation and bring it up here next time I, you know, plan to actually give him more stone. The question will be, will I remember that he's up there? Since he's not gigantic anymore, might end up forgetting that he's actually up there. Look at him. You can barely even see he's up there. Like, he's right to the left of the dot. Like, that's how small he is right now. You can barely even tell that he's there. He definitely would have been visible if I hadn't boxed him up. But that's alright. You know? We get plenty of stone. So we will have plenty of stone to feed him. And make him grow. Assuming I remember he's up there. Considering how small he is. There's a part of me that thinks I should bring him back down until he gets that size again. But there's a part of me that goes, yeah, and then I'm going to bring him back down. And then I'm going to forget that boxing him will reset his size. And then I'll end up just doing that all over again. So, I think I'm alright, you know? I think he's fine being at the size he is. And being up there. If I accidentally forget, then I accidentally forget. You know? Not a big deal. Furniture. All I have is a small shelf at the moment. Let's see. I assume the normal shelf is what I need. If I wanted to sell, let's say, manasite. Nice. Find manasite. 1560. That looks so good though. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. That's the only one that I have a lot of that, like, I can actually restock if I run out of. So I think that's all I'm going to put there, at least for now. And we'll kind of keep an eye out on how, like, how the sales go, really. Is there anything else that I have that I could sell on that? You know what? Let's do it this way. Let me take this. And then let me take this. Let me take all of the Azure Berry Jam. And I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. There we go. And then this can go over here. This is what I was trying to do. My Earth Wisp made it a little more complex though, by stocking all of the but by restocking. But that's really cool actually, that like, because you know that's how you would do it in Supermarket Sim. You know, you'd clear it and then you'd have to like put whatever you're trying to put back onto there before one of the restockers comes by. Or what you would have to do is you would have to remove the label so that they don't, you know, try to stock more, you know, get more of it, and so that they don't like restock it. But here I can just click on the thing and then hit store, and it stores all of the stuff on the shelf and removes the label. So you don't actually have to take the stuff off in order to remove the label, basically. You can just store it without any issue, which is really cool. I like that. That is really cool. Alright. I think we're good. Let's go into our book of almost everything. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and hire Rocco over here. He's a rock. That's amazing. Rocco the Rock. I mean, he is named Rocco, so I don't know what else I expected. You know? That's amazing. Gonna move Buddy and Rocco around a bit so that they can be over here. Nope. A little bit further over. I want you to go here. There we go. So now we have both Buddy and Rocco over here. That is hilarious, though. Freaking a literal rock is running the checkout. Like, that's great. That said, the one Earth Wisp does seem to be more than enough to handle stocking everything. Like, I don't seem to ever run out of stuff, you know? Let's stock a little extra of the axes. And I think I'll even do one more thing of both quivers, too. But yeah, I mean, like, he's doing it. Like, he's keeping everything stocked up. All on his own. I'm sure he'd prefer to have a little extra help, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this right now. We got a monk over here. 2 gauntlets and a dagger. Oh, Manasite. Now, obviously, I can't see what they're buying over on the other checkouts. Oop, exact change. Just getting some possible thumbnails. I love that a goat is shopping at my store. How are we doing on Manasite? $42 still in there. Alright. They've sold a few. $18. But like, how is the Rock doing the checkout? Like, how is the Rock managing to check out customers? $28.52. $2,500 for the next shop expansion. Okay. That's a lot. I mean, we have it technically right now, but I'm gonna hold off a little while longer. I'm definitely gonna want another wisp at some point. Hey, shop level 12. Like, this one wisp is not gonna be able to keep up with everything. Do kind of wish that you didn't have to, you know, stick it into here before they can restock. But that's a minor gripe at best. Wow, people like the bloodberry. Whoops. 656. I do believe there's a way to close, like, your register. And, like, just have your, the other people doing everything. Buying 2 of those, buying 1 of those. Oh, this one is... Go ahead and buy a couple of crates of those. $19.08. $15.96. Oop, the music just changed. I was kind of watching the Wisp and like seeing what they're stocking and, you know, where. Doop, 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 doop. Just kind of drop off a couple and then move on to another thing. So that's interesting. $312 back. Not bad. $3,500. It's not technically the end of the day yet. Like, we won't get any new customers, so it's just, I think, these two. Yeah, but the way that the crates, like, pop in and then sometimes, like, explode off the shelf there. Like that. It would just be kind of nice if, like, you know, there was a way to, like, send to the storage bag. It makes it difficult to buy in bulk, is what I'm saying. Because I may buy a bunch, and then they may explode and end up down here, you know? And I'm like, where is such and such? And it turns out it's because it freaking went down there. So, but again, just minor, I want to say gripe, you know, I want to say complaint, just something I think that could be nice. You know, small bit of quality of life improvement that, you know, comes to mind. I'm moving these shelves down so that there's more space right here. Cool. Very cool. I need more clarity potions. Potions are definitely something I'll always sell. I am thinking about the slime toys. Like I do sell these. But they're just not really that expensive, you know? And I do sell them, but I don't sell a lot of them. So 3,300 monies, though. Not too bad. That's amazing. Freaking Rocky the Rock. I was trying to see if I could, like, see what was written on the scroll. But that's about as, like, zoomed in as I can get on it, unfortunately. Like, that's as close as I can get. It doesn't look like it's any kind of actual writing. It's just kind of like letters thrown onto it, and then, you know, various effects applied to make some faded and others not. So I don't think there's any actual like writing of any kind here. In fact, it looks like it might be like random letters thrown on, and then like a second layer of random letters on top of that, so that they kind of meld together and become gibberish, but still look like letters to a degree. But that's just my assumption. I don't actually know if that's right or not. I'm just going off of what I'm assuming to be the case. You know? It's day 16, so we gotta push Teddy up to level 16. Oh, this is becoming more annoying each time. You know, because it's taking slightly longer each time. Because, like, each time it's more experience. I don't think I'm gaining any more experience. It's just 250 per click. I think that's what it's always been. One more. And I assume that... Oh, no. The experience does not carry over. Interesting. That makes sense. Just it was 3,200, so I was curious if I would have 50 experience left over, but I did not. So, interesting. Thread weaving, crystallology, refining, mining. Let's see what we got now. Fern Bright Leaves. And Honeyglow Gems. Ooh, those look fancy. Very cool. The Lunacite goes into Lunarith. The Lavendrite goes into Lavendrite Spear. We now have Refined Sunglow, Refined Sangrelith. Very cool. Our refined Manasite went down to 41 out of, I think it was 66 when we started. So, if I'm right about that, we sold about 25. So I'll have to kind of watch today to see where we end up getting to. Because however much we're, selling, that's what I would want to be producing per day. So, let's produce a few more Dragon's Blood droplets. Oh wait, my Orling's not outside the door, so my bin is not outside the door. And then we'll come down here to the wool. Find our Whisper Wool. Go ahead and get that running. Whoops. Already placed the maximum amount of Whisper Wool. And then we'll do an Azure Berry and a Blood Berry again, since we're selling both of those. And we do seem to get a pretty good amount of both out of each of these. I don't think one pot is enough. Like, right, we have 24 placed of both Azure Berry and Bloodberry, right? And we have 109 and 306. I think we sold more than what we made yesterday. But I could be wrong. I may also just not remember very well. I'm not going to put any Manasite in because I want to wait so I can see how much we actually produce. Like how much we sell, rather. But I think I'm going to put some Umbrasite into each of these. Because I don't believe we have any refined Umbrasite. Unless it's not called refined Umbrasite. Because I don't see any refined Umbrasite here. So unless it becomes something else, I don't think we have any. But we have everything else, so. But even both Star Pebble and Pebble Bright. So. Oh, there's also Amber Root that I don't have. Gonna want to think about that. Turning that into ingot at some point. Assuming I want to, keep up with the have a little bit of everything in stock thing that I'm doing here. What the frick? There's a Sphinx. Yo? Yo. There's a freaking Sphinx over there. I didn't even know that was a character. Of course, the only characters I know are the ones that I've seen. So I don't actually know what all characters are available. This freaking Dawn Feather. There we go. I couldn't interact with that one Dawn Feather for some reason. But we got it. They let me after a moment. Oh, these are all ghost berries. Like these are and always have been ghost berries. They don't seem to have changed with the season. Yo, I'm gonna have to go talk to that freaking Sphinx. I probably should just go do that, honestly. Go talk to the Sphinx. Because if she gives me any kind of bonus to anything, like any kind of harvesting or, you know, gathering stuff, you know, I probably want to grab it before I do a bunch of like harvesting and gathering, you know. I was gonna call it gathering. As like a term for like everything, you know? Whee! I could not find where I left my freaking rock. I should really start using something other than the rock as my mount, because I keep losing it. I feel like the horse or the cow would be a little more easy to see than a little tiny rock. Also, it's really funny to me that this like waystone has fallen over. Yo. You're freaking hot. She's also freaking massive. I wish this tree wasn't here. I could get a good, like, shot of her. Gotta go on this side. Right? I, like, go from here. Is she interactable from this far away? I think she is. Good lord. Nymera. Okay, more than most conceive, little one. Strength isn't what you lift, but what you won't let break. Now show me your resolve and go out and be great. 25%! Oh my god. Gentle Spirit of the Winds. Good lord. That said, again, I'm told that there's one that's supposed to be like way the frick out there. Like in the out of bounds. I haven't seen it yet though. grief. I feel like I'm mining even faster. I guess I did level up my mining the previous day. And I leveled up tending several times because of the Orling. So I kind of am going faster with like all of that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Wood. You know? Wood. Wood. Yep. That's all I have to say about that. W-O-U-L-D. Wood. Good Lord, I am. Like because of the Orling giving me all those levels and tending. Freaking, I'm so fast. I'm level 25 in tending because of the Orling. I was only like level 20-ish or something like that before. Maybe even like 18 or 19. And now I'm just so fast. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, I don't know what, like, the level cap is for any of the skills. I don't know if, like, the goal is that when you reach sort of that, like, level cap, it's supposed to be more or less instant for everything. But holy crap, it's so fast. Like, it's so fast. This tree, though, is a little awkward. I know the unicorn is up there somewhere. I'm just saying, if Maverick ever wants to add me in there, if he doesn't already have, like, a name for the unicorn. I mean, Serene Inc. literally was a unicorn. A pink unicorn at that. I'm just saying, like, the origins of Serene Inc. are that she was a unicorn. You know, she was an MLP Pony Sona, you know, when I made her. She actually was a Pegasus at first. Funny story about that, actually. When I first made Serene, I was like, okay, which do I like more? The Earth Pony, the Unicorn, or the Pegasus? And I ended up deciding on Pegasus. And the idea was that she was supposed to be, you know, a Pony Sona, but like the idea was going to be that it was going to be like a PNG tuber type thing eventually, if I could ever figure out how to do it. Like, I had the idea for basically PNG tuber before PNG tuber was a thing. Freaking back 14, 15 years ago. Something like that. I don't remember which is correct. It's however old my Twitch account is. Like, I actually made a new account for it. I used to stream under my real name, Emily Ann Coons. And you can actually find that Twitch channel out there. But obviously I haven't streamed on that account in forever. But like, I created Serene Inc. because I wanted to do the idea was that I was going to go from just being like a streamer to more of like a reviewer. Like, I was gonna stream games, but then at the end of the stream, I was gonna like give a review of what I thought of the game, kind of thing. I did that for like 2 games before it was like, okay, it's not really that great because, you know, I'm like reviewing the game live, so I don't have like videos or, you know, like a lot of screenshots or whatever, you know, how people usually do reviews, right? Like, I couldn't really do that. But it was like, well, you know, reviewers always have some kind of persona, so then we created Serene Inc. And I started with a Pegasus. It was like, alright, I like Pegasi. I think they're cool. So I'll make her a Pegasus. And she was a pink Pegasus with pink hair, pink everything. Like, literally everything about her was pink. It was various shades of pink. Like, her hair was, mane, I should say. Her mane and tail were darker pink, but they were still pink. It was closer to magenta, I would say. But it was still, you know, a pink color. And then, you know, her fur, I want to say. I'm not actually sure. Coat? I think that's the right term. Was pink, you know. And I did that for like 2 days. And then one of my friends was like, you know, if she's a Pegasus, how is she playing games? And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? That is confusing. You know? She has hooves, she doesn't have hands. Like, how's that work, you know? So I decided to change it so that she was a Pegasus. Because, you know, Pegasus can use magic, all that. And so then Serene became a Pegasus. And, I mean, it was kind of a couple years later after that. I don't know if it was years later. Maybe it was just a couple of months. That I like redesigned her again after that. And made her not pink. Or rather, not just pink. You know, her coat was still pink. But I gave her, like, brown hair. Or rather, mane and tail. You know, her mane and tail were brown. I gave her like golden horseshoes. And made a few other minor changes. Nothing that really was a big deal. But after that, though, like, her design never really changed after that. I actually had a couple people make art of her at one point. I'd have to go look for it, though. Because I probably still have all of that art. I just don't know where. I'd have to go look for it on my computer. But I'm sure I have a copy of, like, the official art, quote unquote. Because it was run through, it was a character generator image. Like a dress-up doll kind of game program thing. That I use. Not like AI generated stuff. Nowadays, I probably would have ended up doing that. Just because, again, I can't art at all. Yeah, I don't support AI art. I don't really support any of the, like, AI stuff. I do think that all of this AI stuff is in a bubble. As a lot of people have said lately, it's like, yeah, all this AI stuff, like, it's in a bubble. It's the big fad right now, but it's not sustainable by any way. Like, in any way. And it's all gonna eventually crash. And I agree mostly with that. I do think that big tech company is trying to find ways to make it sustainable. And one of those ways, obviously, is selling, you know, the AIs to other big, tech companies. And, you know, making money off of that, and then hoping that that the other big tech companies won't realize, like, that they're actually losing money at using the AI stuff. But I also do, unfortunately, kind of think that AI, to some degree, is going to be sticking around. Like I said, I think big tech company is working really hard to try to find ways to make it sustainable. And I don't disbelieve that they will. A lot of people think that they won't, but I think they will. Arden once moved across the plains on steel wheels. Its students trained to end wars before they began. Among them, one carried a blade that did not hum when swung. He had no past, only scars shaped like questions. But when the stars blinked and time unraveled, it was he who held the thread. Not because he was chosen, but because he chose to remember who he was. Thank you for honoring the weight of memory. But yeah, I don't like the idea of, like, all these AI art programs. If they did it in a legal way, fine. but obviously none of it has been, done legally. So, like, yeah, it's bad for the environment, and I will totally agree with that. But I will say that I do think that, big tech company needing AI, or, trying to, get AI to be big, will lead companies to be like, okay, we need more power than we can get with our, dirty energy sources. It would just be better, to look into, nuclear, for example. Like, I know somebody, I don't remember who, was looking into restarting the 3 Mile Isle reactor. In order to, help sustain the power that they need for AI. And I'm going, great, freaking, I think that's going to end up being the biggest aspect of AI, is that it's going to keep using so much power that companies are finally going to have no choice but to look into alternatives. Because the only truly sustainable power source is clean energy. Nothing else can produce enough power. And so they're going to start working out the infrastructure and things to start getting that going. And sure enough, we'll get stuff like nuclear power and get more nuclear reactors going. And once we have more nuclear reactors running, there'll be less and less people who think nuclear power is this horrible, evil thing. Because it's not. It's actually one of, if not the cleanest source of energy that we can create. And it's stupid good. And I think that will be the big turning point. I think AI, and honestly, may end up sticking around. But I think that the needs that AI has will force big tech companies to invest in power and in producing cleaner power. And, all the scientists can give all the warnings they want. I completely agree with them. I really do. We do need to change and stop polluting the freaking air. Which, that always makes me laugh. People who, deny global warming and stuff. Or global climate change, or whatever you want to call it. And they're dumping all this, carbon into the air isn't, dangerous or anything. It's it's called pollution. Hello? It's literally called pollution. That's the name you gave it. That's the name that you, that's what you say. No, you can't tell me that you actually, don't believe that it's causing problems. And then turn around and also say that we're polluting. Like, no, it's called pollution. Freaking, you're fully aware of it, you just don't want to, you know, you just don't want to admit it. That's the word that's that's what I was trying to say. Like, no, you fully understand and believe in it. You just don't want to admit it, you know? Like, you know we're polluting. Like, it's called pollution. You know? Like, no. You cannot honestly tell me that you don't understand what we're doing and that it's wrong. You know? You legitimately can't. There isn't a single person that honestly believes that we are not, that you know, dumping, you know, all the coal and carbon and stuff into the atmosphere is not causing a problem. People just want to ignore the issue instead. And so they will do anything, even jump through hoops to pretend that they don't understand and believe in it. But there isn't a single person in the world that truly, honestly believes it. They just pretend that they do. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't support AI. I don't support using AI art. I don't support making AI, you know, art. I don't like calling it AI art either. You know, computer generated imagery, I guess, could be a good other word for it. But unfortunately, again, I don't have any method of art. And I don't have enough money, honestly. You know? I really don't. Like, regardless of whether or not I support AI, you know, images, the fact of the matter is that the use of obtaining non-AI imagery is something that I really can't afford. You know, I have worked with enough artists in my life. I know that when you commission somebody, you either accept what they give you right away, or they will eventually start charging you for changes. And if what they produce the first time isn't what I'm looking for, and so I'm like, hey, I gotta make changes. And that's the thing, like, if it's, you know, hey, I give you this character, you draw art, right? Like, I can do that. And it comes out exactly the way I want. When it's, I need you to design character, you know, you have to sit there and spend time explaining what you want. And then it's like, okay, well, here's what I drew. And then you have to sit there and be like, alright, well, that's not quite what I'm after. Can you make these changes? You know? And so, like, you're already paying, you know, $100 to $200 to begin with, which is totally fine. I want to make that clear. Like, that's legitimate. Like the pricing is not what I'm, you know, getting at here. what I'm getting at is the very fact that then, and rightfully so, they will, charge you for making, constant changes. Which, again, like I said, they're totally in the right on. I completely agree. That's perfectly fine. I just don't have the money to pay for that, I maybe commission one artist per month, as it is. And I will be flat out honest when I say there are artists that I will pick over other artists simply because of how cheap they are. If my friend who is offering $10 commissions is available, I will pick them 100%. Because then maybe I also have a little extra money to spend on something else too. When the one friend that I have offers $40 commissions, I will go to them. When the only people that are available are the people that cost $100, I often just don't commission anyone. Unless I just have that much extra that particular month. Like I had a couple months ago. Where I commissioned a couple pieces of art, actually, from some friends. And one of them was a big, like, $150, kind of commission. But that was because I had just gotten extra in from the disability. The back pay. Disability back pay. They can only give me like $4,000 to $5,000 in back pay every like 6 months, and they owe me like $25,000 in back pay. And so it's like, yeah, every once in a while, I get a little extra from disability for the back pay. But I'm only going to have that for like one more time. Here, I think it's November is when the last of it comes in. After that, I will never see a boost like that again. And I will only ever see the $900 that I get per month. And that $900 has to cover everything, has to cover my home, has to cover my food, has to cover like internet, stuff like that. Like I spend a good almost, I would say 800, no, 700. Of that $900 per month. And that's on like necessities. Often I will end up like going out to eat after like a doctor appointment. There's just two little green balls here that I've never noticed. Interesting. But I like go out and eat at like Taco Bell, for example. Because I had to go out for, like a doctor appointment or something. Um, it's like, yeah, I mean, technically, you know, I could not pay for that. You know, I could just not buy that. And like that, yeah, that's true. You know? But it's just a lot simpler a lot of time to just stop off somewhere and pick up a lunch real quick. You know? And so, like, then I have to cover that. And so then if I were to count all of that in, you know, sometimes that's pushing 8, sometimes almost 900. Sorry, I'm also trying to eat a little bit here. Someone in the family gave me a plate of food here. I don't usually eat what the family makes because it's usually bad. But oh crap! This is mac and cheese, which is generally pretty good. As long as they don't burn the cheese, which sometimes they do. It doesn't taste like it this time. But the oh crap that I just said was because I realized it's mac and cheese. I'm lactose intolerant. So I need to take a pill. It was also partially why I'm trying to eat quickly here. Because one pill lasts for half an hour. So now that I just took that pill, I have exactly half an hour until I can't eat anymore. Any of the mac and cheese, rather. So I'm like, I should probably eat as much as I can, you know? Wand of boxing. Yeah, let's purchase another bin of devastation. And head up to our Orling up here. Unfortunately, you know, you can't exactly like eat and like play at the same time. You know, you need 2 hands for the game. And whereas I may only need 1 hand for eating, 2 hands means I can pull the plate up to me instead of, you know, trying to eat all the way when the plate's all the way out on my desk, you know. Freaking choking over here. Bin of devastation up here. Let's go ahead and feed our Orling a little bit while we're up here. Alas, I do not have a mouse in which I can push a button and it can just hold the button down for me. If I did, I would absolutely do that. Alas, I am not sponsored by any companies that produce any companies that produce mice. Nor do I have the money to buy such a special mouse. But I'm not even sure, like, you know, Kevin Sparkles with his Logitech stuff, right? Like, I don't even know, like, does Logitech even have mice? Like, they have mice, but I mean, like, vertical mice? Like, do they even have, like, vertical mice that have all those features? Because vertical mice are kind of a special thing when you think about it. You know, not a lot of mice creators make vertical mice to begin with, let alone vertical mice that then have special features on them that normal mice have. You know, like I've never seen an MMO vertical mouse. You know, or a vertical mouse with like a numpad on it, or anything like that, you know. Whenever people are like, well, I just get one of those mice that has the numpad on it. I'm like, I use a vertical mouse, and people go, oh. Like, as if, like, as soon as I say that, it's like, oh, well, you see, there's your problem. You know, you use a type of mouse that nobody does anything with. You know? Nobody produces mice like that kind of thing. It's like, you know, I wouldn't mind getting a regular mouse for the extra features. The problem with that is I have tried going back to a normal mouse a few times. It hurts. Like, my hand cannot handle regular mice anymore. It hurts. Like, a lot. Ah. It's going faster. Restocking has leveled up. Oh my gosh. Now we're getting into the territory of, like, just slurping up the entire crate. Like, look at that. Whoop. Like, I think he's legitimately back to the size he was when we started the stream today. Not where he was, you know, before I boxed him up. But where he was before we started the stream. I'd have to give him another like 50 crates to get him back to that. Maybe even more, honestly. Because I kind of gave him a lot. Because it's so fast now, like... Wow! I mean, you can see the like speed increase as we've been doing this. That's insane. Look at that. Entire crate gone. It's so fast now. That's right, just slurp it all up. So we got another 16,000 stone to go through that I could give him. It's so fast now. It's crazy. I love it. No, excuse me, 15,000. Level up, intending, and restocking both. I saw level 28 tending and level 19 restocking. Think anyway. Yep. Level 19 and level 28. It's insane, dude. Oh my gosh, you're so big already. I love it. There we go. Now he's getting back to the boxing. Now he's getting back to the size that he was when we boxed him up. Also, I haven't like lost any crates off the edge, have I? Eat! Eat, Orling, eat! Garfield and friends. There's an episode where Garfield has a nightmare about, like, being unable to stop eating, and he gets massive, and it's a little song that plays. Where John's like, eat, Garfield, eat! Just gonna go until Like, cause I don't need the stone for anything, you know? So I don't really have any reason to hold on to any of it. Level 20 restocking. This is definitely a good way to level up your tending. And your restocking. Just suck it up. Suck it up. I will say this is probably going to be the last day. Because we're already at 3.5 hours. And I usually go for 4 hours on the stream, you know. Sometimes, like, I'll go over if I'm, like, really invested in something. Or, like, if there's, you know, people here that are, like, talking. And, like, you know, keeping me chatting and stuff. But today, first off, today is Tuesday. And that means Final Fantasy 14, like, daily timer reset. Or weekly timer reset, rather. So, like, I need to get on and do, you know, M5 through M8. Or no. No, that's every day. Like, that's unlocked now, isn't it? I don't think I realized that. But I do need to get on and do Send the Aurea. I'm trying to get scouting gear. And so I need to do Send the Aurea to get a piece of scouting gear from my Viper. My Viper right now has cruiser gear. It's all eye level 740. But Send the Aurea gives 750. And, you know, you can also get the weekly, you know, the mathematics tomestones. And those will give you 750 gear as well. And so I'm kind of doing both to get, like, Viper gear leveled up. But also I need the coin in order to buy the Everglow whatever stuff that gives you the 760. I gotta do that for my Black Mage. Look at how big he is, dude. Good grief. So yeah, like, so first of all, you know, today is Tuesday. So I want to do that. Secondly, I've had a lot of early day doctor appointments. So I've been having to get up early in the day. So instead of, oh, it's 7 o'clock, I've been up for 3 hours, it's, oh, it's 7 o'clock, I've been up for freaking, like, 12. You know? Today I'll probably get to bed, to bed at a decent time, even. Normal person time. So it's like, I want to, you know, get on FF14 to do that, but also, you know, I want to go to bed at a decent time, so like maybe I should get off here, you know, so that I could do that, you know. And thirdly, the main thing, the third and probably most important thing is just nobody's here. There hasn't been anybody, at least to my knowledge, all day. Nobody's chatted or anything. So put you more center. And I think I will bring the bin of devastation over here. So now if I come down here. Oh yeah, he bigger. Before, like, when I put him up there after I was done, he was the size. It was practically the size of the dot. It got a little bit bigger since then. Cool. I believe the dev, Maverick, said that there is no current upper limit to like size. So, like, who knows how big he'll get. I'm going to go ahead and open the store. Now that we have done that. I don't know where I left my mount. Okay, I just realized I'm unmounted. I don't remember where I left my mount. Oh well. Now I can just kind of sit here and wait for customers. I can eat a little bit more. The one thing I hate about eating, aside from, you know, the act of chewing being annoying, mastification, as is the technical term, the main thing I dislike is that chewing causes my tinnitus to act up. Or rather, it makes my tinnitus more noticeable. Because when I open my mouth, the ringing in my ears gets louder. And then when I close my mouth, the ringing in my ears gets quiet. And so this constant act of like louder, quieter, louder, quieter. And it's always there, but I can kind of get used to it and almost ignore it most of the time. But when I'm chewing, it becomes extremely obvious, clear, noticeable, difficult to ignore. And so it's just ring, 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 ring. Luckily, this part can basically be done one-handed. Which means I can hold the plate with one hand, grab the mouse with the other hand to do whatever I need, and I can just lift my hand off the mouse when I need to. And use it to, shovel food into my mouth. Double axe! Unless, of course, I have to stop for any reason, such as the purchasing of traits. Also, let's not forget that we started with 41 manasite ingot. So we can look and see how much we have at the end of the day. Need to stock some quivers. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He goes off that way. What about those knives that are over there? Serpent's Edge. Looks like we need more of those. I'll also get some Sudden Strike and some Brute Hook. A lot of customers coming over to my cash register. Mostly using the other two guys, which is good. I'm perfectly okay with that. Less work for me, and it means I get to chow for a moment, you know? I need some shivs. are selling a lot of quivers today. Like, good grief. I need whatever that is. More serpent's edge. Grab 2. $16.76. Seriously though, these guys really do remind me of World of Warcraft. Just like a higher resolution, you know, higher definition, higher quality model. Like, these are very much not World of Warcraft. Like, I can tell you that much. Like, these are not ripped from World of Warcraft. At all. Like, they're too high definition, like high quality to be ripped from WoW. But the style is similar, which is cool. I like it. You know? I'm just like trying to clarify that I'm not wanting to accuse, but rather that the style reminds me of, and I like that. You know? I'm very sure that this was made by, you know, the models and stuff were made by Maverick and his team. Or were like bought off of like an asset store that had similar assets. Whatever they are, they're not actually like ripped from World of Warcraft. They're just reminiscent of. Wow, we sold a whopping 5 Manasite today. Well, that's maybe not the numbers I was hoping to see, because that doesn't, like, unless that's all I'm really ever selling, that doesn't tell me how much I will usually sell. You know? So, I got a couple more bites of food here I want to go ahead and grab. Cool. I really wanted to make sure that I got done eating before the half an hour of my pill there ran up. Any nighttime events? I'm not seeing any. Doesn't seem like there's any Pegasi or you know, star shards or anything like that. So, alrighty. Well, in that case, I guess we're good to end off the day. I'm just looking, just kind of trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything. But it does not appear that I am, so. Well, we're at 4K monies. You know, here's hoping we continue to bring in more monies as time goes on. Oh my! Well, there's another Titan. That's a red Titan this time. Well, that's cool. I don't know what the beam from that thing is, but it's shooting up into the sky. That looks like a face in the sky. Gotta love freaking clouds that look like faces. I don't see anything else though. I don't really see anything that looks like any other kind of special event. So, yay, now that I'm done chewing, my tinnitus is becoming a bit more reasonable, which is always nice. Ooh, I almost jumped right off the edge there. Oh hey, the bear family's back. That's the other special event. Or rather, that's another special event that's currently going then. But yeah, I think this is a good spot to end off at. You know, we're on day 17 now, which is nice. Yeah, game is fun. As always, game continues to be fun. You know, I have no complaints. Any complaints that I do have, I've voiced throughout the episode, I'm sure. Still not seeing anything that looks like a special event out in the mountains anywhere. So that's unfortunate. Mostly just because I don't know, I was told to keep watch out there. You know, I wasn't told what was out there or what to look for, just that I should keep an eye out there somewhere. And that I would know that something has happened out there when I see it. So, I'm assuming nothing has happened yet because I haven't seen anything. So, but yeah. Well, with that, I do hope you've all enjoyed. As usual, there will probably be another one next week because that's about what I've been doing so far. There's once a week here. Huh. I never noticed this spot. It's like got like hay on top. But like the building doesn't actually come out to there. That's interesting. Never noticed that. Gosh dang it. I just want to go up the tree. And instead I'm flailing about wildly, getting nowhere quickly. There we go. Yay, we got up the tree. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed. Feel free to, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. You can come on out to twitch.tv/SereneInc. And you can watch these episodes live, or the streams live, rather. There should be a playlist if you want to see any of the other VODs. And, yeah. With that, I'll say to you the same thing I'm saying to that Titan right there. Bye-bye.